It's got a little bag for your keys and a snack. Not much suspension, so watch out for cracks. Fits in your trunk or the back of your van. But good luck explaining why you bought it to your old man. With a frame so small, yet a heart so strong. 0 emissions, but a whole lot of fun. It's banned in no states, but definitely judged in Texas.
Hey everyone, Micah here with ebikeschool.com, and I have finally gotten in my weird little Miyogo e-bike that I bought from China. $397 later, let's see what showed up. Alright, now let's unbox this thing. Now, like I said, I bought this sight unseen from China. I got it in an Indiegogo campaign, which seems like an incredibly dangerous thing to do, and I accepted that risk because I figured, worst case, I lose $397. Best case, I get a weird little e-bike. Got to choose the color, which was this awesome yellow color, so let's see what showed up here. Well, a bunch of stuff's about to fall out. All right, I got a fender here, 2 fenders, some sort of bag, and something that moderately resembles a bike. I feel like I'm missing a wheel here. Charger pedals. You're freaking kidding me if they forgot my wheel. Oh, here it is. All right, surely you guys can see that from the low angle. Now this is obviously not going to be a very high performance bike, as you can see from the size. It is the Miyogo Mini, but there are some really cool features that actually had me interested in this bike. First of all, as you're gonna see shortly, it's got this super weird frame that has this cavity in the middle, and that gives it this like weird storage opportunity in the middle of the bike. Next, it's supposed to have some decent performance. It's supposed to get up to 35 kilometers per hour or 22 miles per hour. Can't tell if this is the axle they want me to actually use or if it was just the packaging axle. And I think this is the real axle. And it's covered in foam tape so it doesn't fit through the bearings. There we go, you just shove it through. That's how that's supposed to work, right? Yeah, that's normal. All right, I think we're in. Handlebar time. It almost feels sacrilege to use Park Tool tools on such a cheap little bike. Dress for the job you want, not the job you got. All right, bars are on. Ooh, there's adjustable height bars. Look at that. Oh, now we're riding in style. Let's put these fenders on before they get too scratched up. Gotta keep this nice bike in pristine shape. Man, I really should have brought a bike stand for this. I'm used to working on bikes on the ground, but when they only have 12-inch wheels, the ground is a lot closer. Oh man, this is crazy. They have a spot for foot pegs back here. This bike looks barely enough for one person, let alone 2. Front fender time. Is there a headlight somewhere? I feel like it's missing a headlight. Yeah, there we go. I don't know how they expect this fender to connect in without getting in the way of the brakes here. It's like you can have fenders or front brakes, but not both. I mean, if I bend this arm a little bit, I can kind of sneak it under there. I'm hoping that caliper can still actuate up and down. All right, that's sort of still working. Does the wheel still spin? No, the wheel is locked. All right, I might just be able to adjust the calipers and fix that though. Got a little bit of brake rub, but I'll deal with that later. Pedals. Right, righty-tighty. Left, lefty-tighty. They give me a 15mm wrench in here. Ooh, yeah, they give me the aluminum foil one. Look at that. Paper thin. All right, got some foam in here around the battery. Not sure if that's structural foam or not. Let's yank this bad boy out. Oop. Looks like the seat's got to come out for that. Alright, battery's out, foam is out, battery's back in. So there's no actual connector down there. That's just a little seat for it to sit into. The actual connector is an electrical connector over here. So we'll plug that in. Alright, so now we're plugged in. Let's put our seat back in. This is the storage bag. Oh, they give us a cute little cheap lock. All right, so this thing goes in here. There we go. So now I got my storage trunk. Now let's fire this bad boy up. On. Hopefully it turns on. Yeah, it does. Got 0.2 miles on my odometer. No throttle. Put it in mode 1. There we go. Oh, kickstand. Ooh, those tires need air, don't they? Put it in a higher power mode. Goes up to 5. Crank it to 11. Oh, feel like I can drift around here. Whew. All right, so it is working. We need to get some air. And then let's go play with this thing. Pump can go in storage. Also my battery charger and my cute little free lock and my instruction manual that I did not use yet. And my bag of aluminum foil tools. That's garbage. Here are the instructions for the app that I missed. Hang on to those. All right, now I do need to get this box out of here somehow. Just gotta remember not to lane split on the way home. Let's do this thing.
Well, it's pint size, it's half ready. It's ain't a bad bright canary. Won't haul a trailer, but it sure is legendary. Mihogo, 12 inches of travel, nah, just 12-inch wheels. But it'll get you to the store and back with lightning zeal. 100 miles of range, or at least that's what they say. And it charges up so quiet, it makes gas bikes look passé. Mihogo, it's tiny, it's bright, it's the king of the road. Oh, ain't got no roar, ain't got no chrome, but plug it in and watch it roll. Mihogo. It's got a little bag for your keys and a snack. Not much suspension, so watch out for cracks. Fits in your trunk or the back of your van. But good luck explaining why you bought it to your old man. With a frame so small, yet a heart so strong. 0 emissions, but a whole lot of fun. It's banned in no states, but definitely judged in Texas. Mihogo. You'll get some looks, but you love it though. Might not be tough, might not be mean, but ain't no gas guzzler, and it sure stays clean. Mihogo.
Now, I did forget my helmet. I always try and wear a helmet, especially in videos, just to set a good example. So please remember to wear your helmet.
Alright, well hopefully you didn't skip that section because you guys have no idea how long that took me to edit. I even had to invest in that stupid karaoke lyrics animation. There's 39 bucks I'm never gonna see again. That's like 10% of a Mihogo. Though I'm not sure that's saying much. Even so, despite this being an admittedly weird little e-bike, it's got a lot going for it. Its rear motor might be small at 350 watts, but the bike still hits a solid 20 miles per hour or 32 kilometers per hour of speed on throttle control. That's a huge battery in this little thing too, 48 volts and 16 amp hours for 768 watt hours. That's more battery than most average full-size e-bikes. Basically, half of this bike is the battery. It's even got a color screen, plus a lot of options you can sort through in that screen to change different parameters on the bike. And it even actually rides pretty darn well.
This thing really loves to turn hard. I don't know why, but maybe it's the low center of gravity. This thing just loves the corners.
Of course, as a mini e-bike, it's got a mini size and it might not fit everyone. I'm only 5'7" or 170 centimeters, so it works great at my height, even if the leg extension isn't quite there when pedaling, but if you're a basketball player, then you might feel a bit funny on it. Or you big fellas might get that circus bear on a tricycle effect.
And it does have other downsides too, like the fact that you can't really pedal at any faster than around half of its max speed, or your feet are going to go relativistic on you. But if you keep the pedal assist in lower power level, like 1 or 2, and you pedal slower, you can still add some appreciable help to the ride.
I've been riding around for a bit, but I'm getting kind of dangerously low on battery, so I'm going to try and pedal as much as I can, maybe drop that into a lower pedal assist mode. I'm not sure I want to run out of battery on this thing.
Between the tiny amount of travel in the suspension fork and the tiny wheels, there's not a lot of shock absorption on this thing, though that doesn't mean you necessarily have to stick to smooth trails and bike lanes. I actually did a bit of off-roading and it didn't totally fail at it.
Probably not your first choice for an off-roader, but hey, it's doing it. I'm really liking that little weird basket thing down there. I've got all my camera equipment in there and my drone and everything. It's really nice to carry stuff around and not need a backpack.
There are other weird e-bikes and e-scooters out there that don't have this level of portability or compact size, so if weird is your thing, there are some real advantages here.
Okay, the worst has happened and I have actually run out of battery while riding around. The good news is the bike is fairly light and low geared, so you can pedal it around fairly easily. I'm gonna wager I'm going around like, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles an hour, maybe 8 kilometers an hour. Not making a lot of progress here, but it's not like those big heavy e-bikes that you can't pedal them when the battery dies because they're just ridiculously oversized. At least this one, you've got a prayer of pedaling it around if you ever run out of battery. Now I just started right on the slightly less than half charge it had from the right out of the box, which generally they say you're supposed to charge these things up before you ride them. It's not really true. The reason they say that is so that you don't have a bad experience and then immediately call customer support wanting a refund and saying, it only got you 10 or 15 miles of range. Basically, you can run a lithium battery right out of the box. There's no memory or anything like that, so there's no real reason to charge it right when you get it, other than to make sure you start out with a full charge and you don't look like an idiot pedaling a silly little yellow Chinese bike all the way home. All right, now I know you're thinking that this probably looks like a silly little e-bike, and it is. It absolutely is a silly little e-bike. But I will say that I'm pleasantly surprised with this. For under $400, this is a 20 mile per hour e-bike with a fairly large battery. Now the motor in the back here, I think it's 350 watts, not terribly powerful, but it gets me to 20 miles an hour and it does it decently quickly. Now how much torque do you really need to spin a 12-inch wheel? Not that much, and I'm sure it's not going to climb a hill very well, but it seems to work pretty darn well for flatland cruising. The suspension is nothing to write home about. The little wheels and tires aren't much, but it doesn't weigh too terribly much either. It's 40-something pounds, I'll put the weight up here, but it doesn't feel too heavy. And I'm really liking this storage basket here because it's easy to just shove things down there and not worry about carrying another bag or having to strap something onto a rack. Now it does seem to have some mounting points here, so you could add a rack. I think that might have been an option on the Indiegogo that I did not get. But otherwise, it seems to be a pretty nice little sort of cheap urban runabout. I probably would not use this as a long distance commuter, partly because the wheels are just so small, it's not going to handle big bumps and things over longer rides, and it's just not going to be as comfortable as a bigger bike. But if I was on the hunt for a super cheap bike that did what I needed it to do to get around town or, do the last few mile kind of commute, this would definitely do it. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you here next time. Thanks for watching E-Bike School.
Covering e-bikes and anything else that feels cool. I hope you stay for the fun vibes.